Hello, it's Declan Costello here, editor of ENT and Audiology News, and I'm joined by two medical colleagues who have been on a mission to make button batteries safer. ENT surgeons are very well aware that button batteries are quite frequently ingested by children and they are exceptionally dangerous. And our good friend Fred Dikkers has been on the case with this for a long time. And we're joined also by his friend and cardiothoracic pediatric surgeon, Tjark Ebels, who has been working on this with him for some time. So, hello, Fred, and hello, Tjark.
Hi, Declan. Good to see you.
Hi, Doctor.
Um, Tjark, I mean, we in the ENT world know Fred very well. He's got a huge research pedigree as far as laryngeal papillomatosis is concerned, and many other areas. Tell us a little bit about you and how you know Fred and how you came to be involved in this area.
Well, I came to know Fred because our daughters became friends in elementary school. That's how it started. But professionally, we happened to work in the same university hospital where I did pediatric cardiac surgery, and Fred did his thing in ENT surgery. And unfortunately, that also initiated that we met within the thorax when there was one of these devastating, damaging esophageal cases after ingestion of a button battery. So that's how it started. But the start of the button batteries was actually quite long ago. Fred, how long ago was it? 20, 25 years ago?
Yeah, in 2002, we had our first patient, and we published about her in 2003 in the Lancet. Yeah.
Hmm. Fred, can you just, for those sort of maybe more junior residents amongst the people watching, can you just explain what it is about the way a button battery works that is so devastating in when it's ingested?
The bottom battery has a plus pole and a minus pole, that's obvious. And when they come in an aqueous solution, there is an immediate oxidation reduction process starts, and that makes hydrolysis. And the hydrolysis forms OH minus ions, and these increase the pH to extreme levels. A level of pH 14 is reached within 1 minute. And this is not only true for a new battery, because a new battery, everybody will be careful enough for its potency to keep it within its fingers. But the old one, which is empty because the device doesn't work anymore, still has got some electricity in there. And even the old one, well, it gives a delay of about 10 seconds in reaching this extreme pH value. So the old battery is as dangerous as the new one.
And that's obviously incredibly corrosive and leads to these devastating effects in the pharynx and esophagus and erosion into local structures.
Exactly. Most times the battery is stuck in the hypopharynx at the esophageal entrance, but when it goes through, it gets stuck on the second narrowing, which is the aortic arch. And when it gets stuck there with a pull to one side, there is the danger of a esophageal tracheal fistula. And when it's turned the other way around, and it will be in a flat plane because of its shape, then the damage will be made to the posterior, and that's exactly at the aorta. So the children who die of it, and our experience, unfortunately, with our dead child, has been a huge aortic esophageal fistula, and the whole amount of the blood volume of the child getting into the esophagus and into the stomach and out of the mouth.
Mm.
Yeah, once a minute. I mean, one volume per minute. So
Yeah,
that's
horrifying, horrifying.
impossible procedure. Yeah.
No, sure. And the button battery task force has come about. Tell us a little bit, both of you, maybe starting with you, Chark, about how the button battery task force came into existence.
Well, there are actually two task forces. There's a global task force where all the manufacturers are also present, and And that was also initiated as a United States task force where governmental authorities were also present, and which was indirectly very influential and helped passing the law in the United States that made safe packaging compulsory. And that happened. That's the so-called Reese's law. That was a child that died from ingesting a battery, and her mother was instrumental in realizing this law to be passed.
So that's to do with the packaging and the what is the what is the fix? How do you make a button battery safe?
Ha! Well, then you have to first you the packaging is one thing because that prevents a child from getting a battery out of the package. And as you know, you have to be very determined currently to get a battery out of the package anyway. So, but once it's ingested, the initiation of the whole process is that the battery is shorted by the ions in the saliva. So what happens? The battery starts to produce a current, and that initiates chemical reactions that lead to the high pH. So what needs to be done is stop the battery from producing a current,
Yeah.
or or preventing it from making a current.
Okay.
So there are several technological methods to get that done, and a number of those are our invention, and we are talking to industry to
Yeah.
have them implemented into their products.
That's great. And Fred, the getting this done requires close liaison with the button battery manufacturers, and there are lots of them. How technically difficult is it for them to make these changes, and how have you got them on side with going forward with all this?
It all started with a contest initiated by the European Union, and we participated in, and we won the gold award in consumer product safety. Then we got the opportunity to address all manufacturers in a Zoom meeting initiated by the European Portable Battery Association out of Brussels. So we spoke to them all together here on the screen, and afterwards we got their email addresses and we approached them. There are six manufacturers and they have about 85% of the world market. So we started with these six manufacturers, and remarkably, one of them never replied at all. And just a few weeks ago, actually, when you and I were together in Sweden last month,
Yeah.
that was the moment that one of the six manufacturers, that was Energizer, came up with their own product with safe batteries. We considered their strategy um, not the best strategy. However, these batteries are not yet for sale in Europe and at this moment, and we expect to get them here within a few days, and we're going to do the tests ourselves. The other five manufacturers have all replied positively, and we are in different stages of well, negotiation with them. And unfortunately, not a single manufacturer has adopted our strategy yet, but we're still positive. Well, you know me, I'm always positive.
Absolutely, absolutely. You always are. And I guess that leads on to maybe my next and perhaps my last question, just about how you see the timeline working. How soon is it that this work, these innovations, these changes to the design of the batteries will come into place and we'll see them on our shelves?
Well, that
Well,
will also depend on governmental regulations, and the European Union, the responsible person has said to us, the moment when we got the award, the moment that our invention is mass producible, they will implement it in European regulations. So that is very important. Apart from that, there is a standardization committee, and Tjark can tell more about that. Tjark.
Well, yes, this is a hot discussion in the IEC, that is sort of the ISO for all electrical devices in the world. Uh, and we've been talking about this in the IEC for quite some time, and there's a lot of emotions uh, amongst the manufacturers, because obviously they're all affected and they do not want to be associated with deadly devices. So knowing that, I think it will take not too long before all manufacturers are going to make some kind of move. And as Fred said, Energizer now came up, and it's also a commercial thing that we're talking about. That is not in particular our expertise, but obviously you cannot produce a button battery and plate it with gold, for instance, if that would help, because it would be obviously too expensive. And Energizer has now plated its battery with titanium, and titanium is not as expensive as gold, but still pretty dear,
Yeah.
and it will raise the price of the battery. So it remains to be seen how that will turn out.
So, I mean, that was
So
one of my questions was about the cost of the innovation you're suggesting. How much extra in percentage terms would it cost per battery, or is that a calculation that hasn't fully been done yet?
Oh, well, absolutely. A battery is currently costs about 10 euro cents to produce. Um, and we think our invention, and we strive for our invention not to be too expensive, and it would cost probably 1 cent more than it will cost now. But you have to realize that it does not imply that the consumer price will raise by 1 cent, but by 10%.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
That's how
of
it
course.
works. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, yeah, understood. Okay. Great. Well, I mean, all power to you, the energy and the enthusiasm for pushing this through is absolutely clear. And Fred, I've been chatting to you for a long time about this, and with every time we have a conversation, it seems to have moved a couple of steps further on. So it sounds
Yes.
as you say, it sounds as if the regulatory aspects are now the next thing, and then that might be the final hurdle. Does that sound about right?
Yes, it's lots of things that are happening simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's not that one thing has to be finished before another step will happen. The manufacturers are very busy. There
yeah.
are inventors busy. Government agencies are busy, and it's all happening simultaneously.
Yeah, understood. Yeah. Fred, thank you very much indeed for your time, your energy, and all the rest of it on this. Is there anything else that you think that we as ENT doctors need to know?
Um, there is one thing I would like to add. We talked about the global bottom battery task force, but there is a European task force as well, and that is initiated by the Pediatric Society of Gastroenterology. And Tjark and I have been the first members of both work task forces, and now they are sort of merging together. The European one is more doctor oriented, and the American one is more all parties oriented, as Tjark explained. And we think that is necessary to have lawyers and regulatory bodies and manufacturers all together in one organization. So,
Mhm.
but it has got yeah, real uh, real input and real interest in many parts of the world, and yeah, that's good. So I hope to be able to come back to you well within a year with a major next step.
Absolutely. Great. Well, look, thank you very much, Fred, Chark. Thank you very much indeed for your time. And we'll no doubt we'll get an update in due course.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye, Declan.
Thanks.
Bye.